Hi, I'm Lynn of Lynn Peters Coaching. I'm a burnout prevention and self-belief coach for high-performing leaders and purpose-driven entrepreneurs who appear to have it all, yet deep down, they're really feeling exhausted, doubting themselves, and running on empty. Through my 3B method, that's brain, body, and being, I help you to quiet the noise, to soften the pressure, and to come back to yourself. I use neuroscience and positive psychology, and together we rebuild your trust and regulate your nervous system and reconnect you to the calm, confident you that's still sitting there beneath it all. So you stop questioning yourself and start honoring your needs and finally feel lit up, supported, and clear about where you're going. And this presentation today on 7 Pillars of Self is taken directly from my Thrive coaching program. And we will cover off what they are and why they're the key to unlocking your confidence. And you'll walk away with a better understanding of what's going on for you right now and what you need to change to just regain that sense of self and unlock your confidence. So grab a pen, grab your notebook. This is very interactive, so I'd love you to get involved as we go through. And think of it as a sliding scale. So on a score of 1 to 10, I want you to think about 1 being low and 10 being high when we go through these pillars, so that you give yourself that score and you can actually review those when we come to the end of the session. So self-talk, what do you think this is? So what stories do you tell yourself right now? What language are you using? Is it more positive or more negative? Think about the words that you use. Jot a few of them down in your journal. It's going to give you a moment to do that. And now looking at those words, I'd love you to think about whether they're sitting on the negative side or the positive side for you. When you look at those, with that in mind, give yourself that score of 1 to 10. And when we're thinking about self-talk, you need to always have in the back of your mind that if you wouldn't say it to a friend, why are you saying it to yourself? It's about being kind, and it often involves self-forgiveness. Hopefully you've got that score down now. So let's bring it to life a little bit more. So self-talk is the language that you speak to yourself. So again, I'm going to reiterate it because it's so important. Be kind. If you wouldn't say it to a friend's face, don't look in the mirror and say it to yourself. And I love this image of Pooh Bear saying to be good to yourself. People will come and go in your life, but the person you see in the mirror will be there forever. So be kind to that person in the mirror. And that's really the key part of self-talk. It's about kindness. And let's extend the exercise further. So take a blank page of your notebook, not the one that you're making notes on today, and just draw a line down the center of a page. And on the left-hand side, just put a little minus sign or write negative or minus. And on the right-hand side, put a plus sign and write positive or plus. And over the next week or so, keep your journal handy and keep making a note of what's coming up for you when you hear those voices in your ear, that little niggle. What words are coming up for you? How often do you hear positive words? How often are you hearing negative words? What words are they? Just make a note of them. And then there's another lovely exercise and another lovely tool you can have in your toolbox, which is I am affirmations. And our brains are very capable of doing lots of great things for us, but they're equally capable of picking up on that negative narrative. Negative narrative, that sounds like it should be an analogy for something, doesn't it? And how we train our brains is really key here as well. Our brains will believe what we feed them, and we can influence that, and we can change that. And this will feel really icky and really uncomfortable, but I'm going to invite you to do it anyway. I want you to write 20 I am affirmations. Another page of your notebook, Start with the words I am, and then think of some positive things that you can put after those 2 words. So I'll give you some examples to get you started. I am strong. I am confident. I am kind. I am supportive. I am me. And at first, this will feel really difficult and you'll be staring at a blank page. But give yourself time. Make a cuppa. Relax into it. Press the pause on that busyness for 5 minutes. And again, if you can't do it then, it will be amazing how throughout that day, throughout that week, things will just start popping into your mind. So keep that notebook handy and add to that list. And then when you've got that list, decide on your 2 or 3 favourites. They're all going to feel difficult to say. But every morning, I want you to look in the mirror and not just read it. I want you to say it out loud to yourself. Because by saying it out loud, it sends a different signal to our brains, and we're much more likely to retain that information. I also want you to share it. I want you to share it with me. I want you to pop it in the comments, drop me a DM, however you want to do it. Send me an email, lynn@lynnpeterscoaching.com. And just share what those I am affirmations are for you. Because when we share, we show up more for it. We commit to it. When somebody else is there to hold us accountable, we're so much more likely to follow through and actually create that new habit that we want to make. So that's my invitation to you. So 20 affirmation statements and that negative positive exercise are 2 great tools you can have in your toolbox. So that's self-talk pillar number 1. Let's dive into self-awareness. What comes up for you when you see those 2 words? Let me expand a little. So self-awareness is about how well you know your own abilities, your own talents, your capabilities, your preferences, your likes, your dislikes, your strengths, your values, your beliefs, and just as importantly, your wants and your needs. So self-awareness, where's your score sitting on that sliding scale of 1 to 10? Where's it sitting? Pop that down in your notebook. Let's bring it to life. So creating time and space to regularly check in with yourself, with your thoughts and your feelings is the starting point. We need to learn to press that pause button on our busyness. We lead busy lives, full of supporting everybody else. We've got to create time and space for ourselves. And the more you do it, the more you get better at spotting what led to certain behaviours, what maybe your triggers are before you lose your patience, snap at somebody, or what's leading to you feeling so tired and exhausted. It often leads to us really thinking about how we've been caring for ourselves. So love to bring it to life with this image for you. So pay attention to what really makes you feel most at home, most grounded and centered, whether it's a location, a person, an activity, or a thing. Really start to notice those things in your life and find ways to bring more of those things, those places and people into your life on a regular basis. Go to the places that feel like home, connect with those that bring you back to yourself, and curate items that root you in your truth. And this is about living life intentionally. It's about influencing what's going on for you, rather than feeling a bit like a victim that's being pulled along where life's taking us. We have the ability to reclaim that direction, to refocus our energy, and to prioritize ourselves. And then we have self-love, one of my favorite ones. I could have just called it self-care, but it's deeper than that. So self-love isn't selfish. It's key to increasing your sense of self-worth and self-esteem, and to changing your emotions around your whole self-care, the time you give yourself, the energy you put into looking after yourself. Really reflect back over the last week or so and think about how much time, so think of a day, 24 hours, how much time each day do you spend on you? Do you do something that's just for you, not for anybody else? Do you fit in those self-care things? Do you pluck your eyebrows and paint your toenails or go for a massage or whatever it is that you've been meaning to do for months, years? Let's face it, mine were years. So just rate yourself on a score of 1 to 10. self-love? How much time and attention are you lavishing on you right now? So it's about valuing yourself enough to spend that time and effort that you need to take care of all of your needs. And showing yourself that same that same level, it's because I used to live in Lovell, that same level of love that you show to others without any guilt. And that's when you know you've nailed it. When you can show up for yourself without feeling guilty, you know that you've actually reached that level of a 10 out of 10. So the image I've got on the screen with somebody holding that warm cup of coffee, it looks like here it'd be tea for me. That just brings it to life, doesn't it? We're good at grabbing ourselves a hot drink or a cold drink if that's your bag. Got mine here. It actually says happiness blooms from within. Couldn't agree more. We grab those drinks, but how often do we do it on the run? So fall in love with taking care of yourself. Fall in love with the path of deep healing, and fall in love with becoming the very best version of yourself. But do it with patience, with compassion, and with respect to your own journey. So next time you make a drink, don't make it and drink it on the run. Make it and take 5 minutes just for you, and do something that's just for you. So you've got your score now for self-love. Let's move on to self-discovery. This is an exciting one. Self-discovery, all those new things, those things you've forgotten about. It's a journey, and it should be full of honesty. If we can't be honest with ourselves, then we're never going to move forwards. Of learning, of reflection, and of change, and of kindness. It's about not beating ourselves up for what's brought us to this point, but learning from that. So what do you need to rediscover about yourself? What did you used to love doing when you were young? Often that's the key to self-discovery. What have you done for so long that you'd love to do again, but if you only had the time? What hidden beliefs and strengths and needs have you forgotten about? We can dive deep into that, and we do in my Thrive program. But for today, we're just going fairly surface level. Just give yourself a little score out of 10 on self-discovery. Things have popped into your mind that you could spend some more time journaling around or thinking around. You could rediscover about yourself and spend some time doing. So you've got your score for self-discovery. Let's bring it to life and remind ourselves it's a journey, not a race. So take the time. Take the time to enjoy, to explore every step, no matter how uncomfortable it gets. It's leading you to a better destination. And the image on the screen talks about whatever you do and however you do it, take time to enjoy your life, the big things, the little things. No matter what circumstances you're currently facing, you may as well make the most of the things that make you happy. Enjoy every part of your life that you can. After all, it's the only one you'll get to live. It's quite poignant, isn't it? We only get one life. How much of it do we spend on ourselves? That's not selfish. Let's go back to the pillar before. That's self-love. So that's self-discovery. There's so much we can actually find out about ourselves still that we've forgotten about, or new things that we want to discover, new things to aim towards. So self-confidence, no explanation needed here, is there? So this is all about how much you believe in yourself and your own abilities. But it's equally about flipping things around, turning self-doubt into self-confidence. And I have a wonderful tool that helps you do that, which I'll share with you shortly. It's called the power of yet. So what is lack of self-confidence holding you back from right now? I want you to think about that. Jot down a few things that if only you were confident you'd be doing. Give yourself a score of 1 to 10. With all my working clients, this is what I find usually holds people back, is self-confidence, what they think it is. So how can we reframe? Got your score now. How can we reframe self-doubt into self-confidence? So here's a little tool for you, the power of yet. Next time you catch yourself, thinking back to that self-talk, next time you catch yourself speaking negative self-talk, so let's give you some examples. I can't do that. That's not for me. It's not for people like me. Add the word yet to the end of that sentence. I can't do that yet. It's not for me yet. So instead of actually being a brick wall, when we say I can't, it's not for, it's kind of like a stop point, a full stop, a line in the sand, if you will, isn't it? When we add the word yet to the end, it actually opens those doors to possibility. So I can't do that yet. Straight away, your brain has latched onto that. Oh, there's a possibility I might be able to do that in the future. I just can't do it yet. And you'll then actively seek out ways to find ways you can do it. And it's a very simple tool, but it's a very powerful one that works on a very neurolinguistic basis of reprogramming your brain to look for the positives. So I love the power of yet, and I hope you do too. I hope you use it. And again, drop me a message and let me know. Drop me a comment and let me know how that's going for you, if you do use it, and what difference it makes. So self-confidence, let's bring that to life. I want you to actually close your eyes. Actually, I want to do a little bit of mindfulness. So back in my corporate days, I've done 40 years in corporate. I was a mindfulness facilitator. And my 3B method, my brain, body, and being method, very much is around all parts of ourselves. So we've talked about neuroscience, we've talked about our brains. Let's just drop down into our being a little bit more. Let's drop down into our body. So close your eyes, take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Relax your shoulders, give them a little wiggle if you need to. Relax your jaw. Let all the tension flow out of your body. Keep your eyes closed. And I want you to either imagine, if you're good at picturing things, or think about, whichever works for you, the following. You. If every single person who has liked you in your lifetime were to light up on a map, it would create the most glitteringly beautiful network you could imagine. Throw in the strangers you've been kind to, the people you've made laugh or inspired along the way, and that star-bright network of you will be an impressive sight to behold. You're so much more than you think you are. You've done so much more than you realise. You're trailing a bright pathway that you don't even know about. What a thing indeed. Keep your eyes closed and focus on those lights lighting up on that map. All those people you've influenced, all those strangers you've smiled at, all those people you've supported, inspired. That's taken from a poem by Donna Ashworth called You. When you're ready, just blink your eyes open and come back into the room. And I'd love to ask you, how does that affect your score? What would all those people rate you at? Do you need to change that score at all? Take a moment. Let's move on to self-worth. It could be self-worth, it could be self-esteem, whatever words you prefer. It's our innate sense of self and how we go out there and interact with the world. It's your own deep feelings about your value as a person deep inside, what you bring to the world, if you will. So how worthy of love do you feel right now, including your own love? Because that's where it all starts. Are you worth showing up for? What signals are you sending yourself? What needs to change? Just take a few minutes to journal around this. It's a real key one. I'm going to say those questions again. How worthy of love do you feel right now, including your own love, as well as from others? Are you worth showing up for? And what needs to change? Give yourself a rating, 1 to 10. Take a minute or two just to do that. Don't forget, you can always pause these recordings at any point as well and just move on in your own time. You want to give yourself more space while you're working through. So self-worth, let's bring it to life. It's your key to allowing yourself to blossom and grow. Let's take a plant analogy. If you plant a seed, but you don't give it any time, attention, or nurture it, you give it no food, no water, no time and attention, it's never going to thrive and grow. And in the same way, you need to allow yourself that time and that space to blossom and grow. And if you don't feel worthy of your own love or your time, then you're never going to prioritize you. And this is all about building your life and your business, your role, all around you at its very heart. It needs to be heart-centered. So your impact on others is bigger than you think. Someone still giggles when they think of the funny things you said, and someone still smiles when they think of the compliment you gave them. Someone silently admires you. The advice you give has made a difference for people. The support and love you've offered others has made someone's day. Your input and opinions have made someone think twice. You're not insignificant and forgotten. Your existence makes a positive difference, whether you see it or not. We can be our own worst critics. So now I want you to start seeing and feeling and believing in your own self-worth. Let's circle back to those I am statements. Put them everywhere. Put them around your laptop. Put them next to the mirror. Put them on post-it notes. Put them on the fridge. Train your brain to see and notice your self-worth. Self-belief, pillar number 6. So self-belief is your mindset, and your mindset is key to leading the way here. It's key to leading to improved confidence in your ability to cope with whatever life brings you. Let's face it, life isn't linear. It's full of ups and downs. I'm not going to sit here in toxic positivity and say once you do all of these things, life's going to be wonderful and marvelous and nothing will ever go wrong again. Of course it will. That's life. Life's full of ups and downs. But it's about having all of these tools in your toolbox to come back to at any time, to watch this video, to remind yourself that actually you can come out of this much quicker and in a much more positive way by using these tools on a regular basis. So it will help you cope with whatever life brings you. And it's also about learning to understand that any growth is going to feel uncomfortable, but knowing that you can do it anyway, knowing that you have those strengths and that belief in yourself. You have those values, those underlying foundations that you're building on. And all of these pillars are building firm foundations, brick by brick, pillar by pillar, until we get to that rock solid self-belief at the top. Actually, it's pillar number 7. I said pillar number 6, I think. There we go. Can't believe we got to the last one already. So ask yourself, would you back yourself to come out of any situation with rock solid self-belief? And what do you need to gain from these exercises? So where's your self-belief sitting right now? Could your self-belief do with a boost? Be honest with yourself. How honest ever are you? Or do you constantly hold back the best of you for fear of putting it out there, of being visible, of getting hurt, being judged? It's human nature, isn't it? We all kind of want to build that protectiveness around us. But the important thing is to use these foundations as foundations to build up that rock solid self-belief that sits on the top, a bit like a roof, rather than building a brick wall that prevents you putting the best of yourself out there. So just reflect and think about where your self-belief is sitting right now. Getting your shit together really requires a level of honesty that you can't imagine right now. There's nothing easy about realizing that you're the one that's been holding you back this whole time. Believe me, I've been there. I've had burnout. I've had chronic illness. I've still got chronic illness. It never goes away. But I've learned through very much these processes, these tools. That's what all my program is based on, is my own journey. So I know it was a really weird moment when I had that realization that actually I was the one holding myself back. It wasn't other people. I had to stop blaming other people and take charge of what was going on for me, because I was the only one that could make a difference. So don't hold the best of you back. You deserve to show up 100% fully as you. No more hiding. So, our 7 pillars of self. Now you know what they are. Just look back at your scores. Add them up. You should now have a score out of 70. And take a moment or two to notice which 2 areas of self are the lowest scoring ones, because they're telling you something. They're the key to unlocking your confidence. And please feel free to share in the comments or drop me a message and let me know what your 2 are. I love hearing from people, and make sure you really double down on those 2 for the next few weeks, over the months, however long you want to spend. But just notice what's going on. Keep your journal handy. Don't make this a one-off exercise. Make it something that you weave into your daily life. And notice, raise that self-awareness. It's the biggest one that will make the biggest difference. And spend your energy and your time here over the next 30 or 60 days. Just as importantly, spend it without the guilt, the overwhelm, the self-doubt, the negative self-talk. And spend it with self-forgiveness, with kindness, and with love, and with trust. Trust that you deserve this time. So how will you plan it in? Because this is where you can fall at the first hurdle. You can have all of this knowledge, all of this new knowledge, all of these new tools, but if you don't plan in how and when it's going to happen, hey, it's never going to happen. So look at your diary right now. Where do you feature? How much time in that 24 hours do you give to you? What needs to change? What needs to shift? Do it now. Look ahead. Start small. 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there. But schedule it in like an appointment with yourself. One that you're not going to miss. So just plan it. So thanks for listening, for following along, for joining in. And I have a couple of free resources that will really help off the back of this. I have a free self-care recipe, so I'll pop the link in the comments. And also have a free group where you're very welcome to come along and join us, called Let's Thrive, Not Survive. It's based around creating a safe space for people to prioritise their well-being and create the life that they've dreamt about but never quite dared to go for. So after my own well-being journey, it felt really important, and I opened up this safe, supportive space for people to just come and prioritise their health and happiness. And I'd love you to join us there if it feels like the right space for you to be in. So thank you. I hope that's been useful to you. I hope you've got some great takeaways. Look after yourselves. Spend time on yourselves. Make sure you're creating the lives and the businesses with you at the heart. Thank you.